But I'm going to answer this question by saying Shedeur Sanders. And I'm going to tell you why. I think he's being set up to fail. That's right, I'm going to say it.
Okay.
Here we are on national television, right? There's been 11 practices, if I remember correctly. He's been starting against he's been playing against the third unit. He's fourth on the depth chart. And then suddenly you throw him into the start lineup, and he hasn't had any reps with the first team at all. Think about that. So you're just gonna throw him to the wolves like that, huh? I mean, if he had first team snaps in practice, I don't say that. But he doesn't, and then all of a sudden he's starting tomorrow night. It's like you want him to fail. I'm not accusing the coaches of doing this. I'm not accusing the GM of doing this. But that owner, Mr. Haslam, that's a different animal right there. Mr. $230 million guaranteed deal to Deshaun Watson. And then he going to come out this time around. I had nothing to do with this pick. I didn't have anything to do with it. I mean, that wasn't me. That was GM Barry right there. That wasn't me. The owner sitting up there. It wasn't me. Wasn't me. Yo, it wasn't me. That's what he was saying. And I'm saying, really? That's what we doing now?
You know, I've seen a lot of people, especially after the draft and stuff, like you can't just hand the job to Shedeur. You got to make him earn it. He's got to, earn his spot and show what he can do. Well, they handed it to Dillon Gabriel. Yeah, they just handed him first-team reps. Like, he didn't do anything to earn them. He didn't.
Except for get drafted in the third. It's not like he was drafted in the top
five. Yeah, third-round quarterbacks don't ever earn first-team reps right out the gate. Jake Burns said that over the weekend.
It's one of those things, too, where they just seem to – it's like they fell in love with the person, and it's like the person might not match the player. You have guys coming out saying, like, he just doesn't belong on an NFL football field right now. Like, Zach Jackson said – practice comes to a screeching halt when he goes into 11-on-11s. And I'm just like, how is this a guy who's getting first-team reps then? What do the next guys have to do? Not even like Shedeur, just anybody on the roster. What do they have to do to eat into some of that? Because, like we said, Dillon Gabriel wasn't picked third overall. He was picked in the third round. Yeah. So why is he just being handed first-team reps? I don't understand that part of it. I'm like, are we willing to die on the cross for third-round pick Dillon Gabriel? Like, come on. Nobody else even had him on his draft board, at least not to be a starter.
The Cleveland Browns were supposed to be entering training camp with a clean slate. New faces, new energy, and most importantly, an open quarterback competition. But behind the scenes, tension was rising, and no one felt it more than rookie quarterback Dillon Gabriel. Gabriel wasn't just another name in the locker room. He was a third-round draft pick out of Oregon, a proven college leader who carved up defenses in the Pac-12 and earned every inch of his spot on the Browns roster. He wasn't flashy, but he was efficient, tough, coachable, the kind of guy you could hand the playbook to on day one and expect results.
I don't think the Browns have been setting him up for success all summer. Like, understand this. The only reason why Shedeur is even starting on Friday is because he's the only available quarterback of the four on that unofficial depth chart, right? Like, Joe Flacco's 40, so he's obviously not going to play. And Kenny Pickett and Dillon Gabriel, who are ahead of Sanders on said depth chart due to political reasons, and I'll get to that in a minute, are dealing with injuries. So Shedeur has to start. But they're kind of throwing him into the fire here because they've given him 0 first-team reps all camp. He's been balling all camp. I mean, every time I see one of those, I'm talking about those ESPN Cleveland quarterback graphics, Shedeur has the best stats. But they've literally only given him 4 total reps against the first-team defense.
But instead of prepping for his NFL preseason debut this week, Dillon was pacing the sidelines, seething. Because while he was told he'd be held out of Friday's opener against the Panthers due to a minor hamstring strain, a precaution according to head coach Kevin Stefanski, he couldn't help but feel something wasn't right.
This is his shot. Yeah. This is it. I mean, I don't mean just this one game, but I'm saying this is his chance. Even though it looks like he's been practicing well, what we talked earlier, like it just seems like they don't want to give him the shot to really move up. Well, they have to now. And I salute them for not – I think to start Tyler Huntley in this game would have just been like – it would have either been insulting or he is just light years away from being ready to play in an NFL game. And so I'm glad he's getting a start. I said earlier, maybe he plays a half, Huntley plays – if he's playing well, he's going to play 3 quarters at least.
Well, it looks like he's going to have to play a half.
Right, yeah. That's like a minimum at this point. But – this is his opportunity to really distance himself from Gabriel for sure. And if you look at all 6 of their quarterbacks, he's the only one, with all due respect to Dillon Gabriel, who even remotely could be like their quarterback of the future.
Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback the Browns drafted after Gabriel, was getting the start. Not just reps, the start. And not because he outplayed Dillon during joint practices. Number because, as Dillon saw it, Shedeur was being protected, handed an opportunity that should have been earned. The Browns were calling it smart injury management, but Gabriel wasn't buying it. He'd been out there during 7-on-7s, moving fine, zipping the ball with rhythm. Trainers had cleared him for non-contact drills, no setbacks, no pain, nothing that indicated he couldn't play a few series under the lights. In fact, Tyler Huntley, the veteran backup also suiting up, had been nursing a groin issue weeks earlier, and he was playing.
144th pick for the Cleveland Browns will be starting at quarterback in the preseason open. Can you believe this, how this plays out? You can't make this up. I wonder, what did they say when they said, well, we got to start him? I told you that 144 is the seal that this is mine, and the seal of protection you'll get from God. But I'm going to need you to sit down for week 1 so the world can see the seal I put on number 144. Can y'all imagine if he plays anything? If he plays anything like anything, the story blows up even bigger.
So why was Gabriel the one sitting? Why was Shedeur, the high-profile, headline-grabbing son of Deion Sanders, getting the keys to the offense? Dillon's mind raced with possibilities, but one thing kept gnawing at him. They're not protecting me. They're protecting him. To Gabriel, it was clear. The Browns had a plan, a PR plan. Starting Shedeur in the opener wasn't just a football decision. It was a media one, a branding one that would trend on social media, pull highlights, and capture headlines. He could already see it. Shedeur Sanders makes NFL debut. The Sanders legacy begins.
I'm afraid he's going to get on the field in preseason games without a lot of practice reps, and then they're going to ask him to perform these heroic tasks in order to prove that he's worthy of being a starter when he hasn't had enough reps to really get comfortable. That's the kind of battle he's dealing with right now. I know. I've seen it. Dom, you've seen it. We've been in these camps. We know how that goes. Yeah. You don't get enough reps. They play a whole half of a game, and then all of a sudden coaches are going, why are you making that mistake? Why aren't you making that check? Why are you doing that technique? Well, damn, coach, I never was in there in practice. You never even talked to me during practice. But now you expect me to know. That's what they're going to that's what they're going to expect of him. But if anyone can get it done, it's this kid, because he's been trained the right way. But I'm telling you, he is ice skating uphill. He just is. And every time you hear this organization talk, you get that feel.
And Gabriel? He'd be an afterthought. Inside the building, whispers grew louder. Some players started to notice the shift. One rookie lineman reportedly told a teammate, DG's got that dog in him, man. You can tell he's pissed, and he should be. A receivers coach was overheard during a walkthrough saying, don't sleep on Gabriel. He's been out working everyone since minicamp. Still, none of it mattered, because come Friday night, Shedeur would be under center. The cameras would be on him. The offense would be his. And Dillon? He'd be in street clothes, watching, wondering what exactly was going on behind closed doors. He hadn't said much to the media. In fact, he'd kept his cool remarkably well. But late Wednesday night, Dillon posted something cryptic to his Instagram story. A black screen with white text that read, funny how the guy who's hurt ain't hurting, but the guy who ain't hurt is on the field. It vanished in 24 hours, but not before fans screenshotted it and lit up Reddit, Twitter, and local Cleveland radio. The message was loud and clear. Gabriel didn't believe this was about health. He believed this was favoritism, And worse, he believed Shedeur knew it too.
He's unflappable. We have been through so much as a family, as athletes, that he is prepared for everything. He cut from the old school, man. Like, he knows hard work pays off. Like, you got to work to earn it. I can't wait till the preseason game start because
oh man, next Friday I'm going to everybody locked in, baby.
You can do what you want, but you're gonna have to let him play in preseason.
I mean, he's funny, he's optimistic, he's lighthearted, but he works hard. You know, he takes it seriously, his craft, and he's watching what the others are doing, and you know, doing it his own way in which only he can. So, you know, looking forward to see him, you know, in these preseason games and you know, how he manages the offense. But you know, I think he looks good, but all the guys look good right now.
This is the Shedeur effect. I perked up. I didn't anticipate this, and now it's okay. Shedeur's going to play, and he's going to play in a preseason game, and he's going to have an opportunity to do it on a national stage. This is why Shedeur Sanders is a different kind of fifth-round pick. If you told me some other fifth-round pick playing for some other team was starting, I wouldn't even, care. Go and win the job. You're on national TV. Go and light it up. Throw the ball. Have fun. But I didn't buy the jersey, but I definitely perked up at the fact that he's going to be playing and he's number one under center, even in a preseason game.
According to a source close to the team, Dillon had been keeping quiet in team meetings, but became noticeably more intense during film sessions. Not disrespectful, just locked in, grinding through every play like he had something to prove. When Shedeur made mistakes in drills, Gabriel didn't comment. But his stare said it all. This wasn't jealousy. This was about principle. Gabriel had no issue competing. In fact, he welcomed it. He'd done it at UCF, at Oklahoma, at Oregon. He'd fought for every snap of his college career. But what he couldn't stand was the idea that the deck was stacked before the cards were even dealt.
I mean, I think it's logistical, like what you're able to do right now, and I think the injuries sort of create a scenario where they'll get an extended look at Shedeur. I mean, look, he's still behind, I think he's caught up some. I would put like the chance that he's starting the season opener and it's microscopic, but look, like if he looks good, maybe he earns some more reps in 11-on-11 work, in camp. And that's really how it's got to happen. I think with the rookie quarterbacks in the Browns equation now with Flacco and Pickett where they are ahead of those two, I think any chance you have at starting at any point this year is going to have to be a step-by-step process. And, the first step is showing you can run the offense, and Shedeur will have a chance to do that.
You heard my take. I mean, this is not really that surprising.
No.
Never mind that he's number 4 on the depth chart. Never mind that he's missed time with a sore arm. And again, I want to know how your arm is sore if you don't get any reps. But apparently he's good enough to go. So let's go ahead and push him out there and see what we got. Do you like that decision?
I love it. I think it's the best thing for the Browns to do at this point. And honestly, I'm not rooting for the Browns to do well because I'm still upset that they got rid of Baker Mayfield and they got rid of Joe Flacco, two guys that led them to the playoffs in recent years. But really, this is what the preseason is all about, is going out there and giving players the opportunity, a chance to prove themselves. We saw during the Hall of Fame game, Trey Lance went out there and looked the best that he's ever looked. And it was very impressive, to the point, that there's people like, should we trade her? No, don't do that. But you go out there and you give these younger guys an opportunity to play against a team with a different colored helmet, and it allows you a chance to kind of get a read on them. And you nailed it, because there's two ways that this goes. Either, number one, Shedeur goes out there, he struggles, he doesn't look good, and you're like, okay, he needs a little bit more time. There's a reason why he fell to the 5th round, no pressure. He can kind of go back into anonymity as much as he could be, being Shedeur Sanders, but at the same time be like, he's at the bottom of the depth chart. We'll see him in a couple years. Or he goes out there and captures that lightning in the bottle. So if he has a situation like Trey Lance did the other night, there's really not much blocking him.
Shedeur, on the other hand, seemed cool and collected, flashing smiles at the media, speaking confidently in interviews. The moment wasn't too big for him, but it also wasn't earned yet in Gabriel's eyes. To him, Shedeur was being treated like a crown prince. And that That lit a fire in Dillon he hadn't felt since being told he'd never make it in the Power Five. He wasn't going to lash out. He wasn't going to make a scene. But he was going to remember every look, every quote, every depth chart, every snap he should have taken. Because Dillon Gabriel knows the NFL is a business, but he also knows what real competition looks like. And this wasn't it. This was marketing. This was politics. This was sabotage, just not aimed at the flashy kid with the famous last name. It was aimed at the quiet grinder, the one who shows up early, stays late, and doesn't tweet about it. Dillon Gabriel might not be playing in the opener, but make no mistake, this battle is far from over. And when his shot finally comes, he's not just going to play. He's going to make damn sure no one forgets who should have been on the field first.